Put on your tinfoil hats because this conspiracy fan theory is absolutely bonkers, but it's plausible. Let me explain.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
Welcome to the first ever Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Dragon Prince theory video. If you're new here, we have plenty of videos on the Dragon Prince, and we do frequent Avatar videos, including podcasts, theory, and character analysis, so consider subscribing so you don't miss out. I will issue a small spoiler warning for a small but cool Easter egg for Season 3 of the Dragon Prince. Before we start though, I want to thank you, the Dragon Prince community. Your recent support, whether it was watching, commenting, or subscribing, liking a video, has really helped out the channel, so thank you. Alright, today's video will dive into how the Dragon Prince and Avatar: The Last Airbender actually exist in the same universe on the same planet. We will go over the connections between the two series and how they could be connected. To first understand this theory, we need to look at the connections that tie the two series together. The biggest connection is the talent behind the show. Aaron Ehaus was the head writer on Avatar: The Last Airbender and is the co-creator of the Dragon Prince. Executive producer of Dragon Prince, Giancarlo Volpe, was also a director on Avatar: The Last Airbender. So the Dragon Prince is at least a spiritual successor to Avatar. The biggest connection within the story are the similarities between Sokka of Avatar and Callum of the Dragon Prince. Both of these characters are voiced by Jack Desana, but that's not the real link here. The real link comes in Season 3 of the Dragon Prince. In an episode, Callum comes into contact with a boomerang. He looks at it with such awe and familiarity and says, "Something so strangely familiar. Boomerang?" What could be the reason for this besides just being a funny Easter egg? I think it's plausible that Sokka is one of Callum's past lives. In Avatar, it's not only the Avatar that has past lives, but everyone. The only difference between the Avatar and other people, besides the ability to bend the four elements, is that their memory of their past lives are still intact due to Rava. Also, it's sort of irrelevant who a normal person would be reincarnated into, and really impossible to prove anyway. I mean, do we really care to know who the foamy mouth guy reincarnated into? But despite a lack of memory of Sokka's life, I still think certain things from past lives can seem familiar, hence the boomerang. On another note, I find it interesting Callum says boomerang and not something like "it's a boomerang," as if he remembers what he called his old friend. Probably unrelated, but both characters also have an affection for girls with white hair who have some relation to the moon. There are other connections between the two shows as well. For instance, the dragons are similar in biology. Dragons throughout fantasy stories come in all different shapes and sizes, but both dragons in Avatar and the Dragon Prince are four-legged. Their wings are on their shoulder blades, not attached to arms, and they have hair, or at least some do. Both shows also have some type of magic system based on the elements, but we will dive deeper into that later in the video. So how possibly story-wise could the Dragon Prince and Avatar exist in the same world? Well, in order for this theory to work, the Dragon Prince must take place after Avatar, like at least 10,000 years. But you may ask yourself, how could the Avatar world with humans and its advanced technology like cars and electricity come before the Dragon Prince, which is far less developed and also has elves? Well, it all comes down to harmonic convergence. Perhaps in the next harmonic convergence, when the Avatar, along with the light spirit Rava, battle the spirit of darkness and chaos Vaatu, they end up losing. But they lose in an unconventional way. Vaatu, knowing that he has lost to Rava in at least the last two recent times, and that at best he could hope to win but would have to fight her again in another 10,000 years, forms a plan to end their legendary feud once and for all. We know from Legend of Korra that the human world and the spirit world was once completely separated with no portals to each other, but it was Vaatu who broke the barrier between the two. Why would he do this in the first place? As the spirit of darkness and chaos, I'm sure it was merely to cause, well, chaos. And we see that during Wan's time. Humans are forced to live on giant lion turtles to protect them from the spirits. When we last saw Vaatu, he was pretty much vanquished. but light cannot exist without darkness, so he will grow inside of Rava, who's fused with the Avatar. Even creators Mike and Brian know Vaatu will be trouble in the future. In an interview, they were asked what happened to Vaatu after Korra vanquished him and if he was in Korra. Mike said, "I would say yes. In the writer's room, we talked about if Vaatu's presence would affect Korra in any way, but decided he's so weak at this point he's unable to do anything. Check back with whoever the Avatar is in another 10,000 years, and I'm sure Vaatu will be giving them trouble." So imagine Vaatu slowly influencing the Avatar to lean to the darker side. We know Avatars, while inherently good because they are all one soul and have Rava's positive influence, are still very fallible people. It wouldn't be hard that in a time of distress or uncertainty, they could be persuaded by Vaatu to do something they wouldn't normally do. Vaatu will seize on this opportunity and destroy Rava, leading him to break any and all barriers between the two worlds, ushering in a new age of darkness and chaos. But doing so would cost him his life as well. That's just pure speculation there. This will result in the two worlds clashing together, some spirits merging with humans to make elves, the terrain from the spirit world makes Zadia, where every living thing has magic in it, even the plants. The event leads to the destruction of buildings and infrastructure and technology, leaving it with the post-apocalyptic world that the Dragon Prince comes from. Now, as for the elements, both the Dragon Prince and Avatar have magic systems. In Avatar, a good number of people can manipulate the chi in themselves to bend an element, either water, earth, fire, or air. In the Dragon Prince, a mage must be connected to one of the 6 primal sources of magic: the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky, the earth, or the ocean. So what would have caused this significant change? Well, technology may have actually played a role in this. Bending is just as much spiritual as it is physical. Over-reliance on technology could lead to a decline in bending and benders. It could become so rare that benders are now known as mages, who have to summon something deep within themselves to bend the elements. But the Avatar has 4 elements while the Dragon Prince has 6 sources. Earth, fire, air, and water are all accounted for in the Dragon Prince, with primal sources of the earth, sun, sky, and ocean. What about the stars and the moon? I imagine the moon and the ocean spirit of Avatar world separated, thus adding moon as a source. As for stars, that actually exists in the Avatar world already. Some avatars like Korra and Aang can connect to the cosmic energies in the universe. Perhaps the Star Touch elves figured this out as well. So there you have it, a tight, unshakable, 100% solid proof that the Dragon Prince and Avatar The Last Airbender share the same universe. There is absolutely no debating it. But I still want to hear from you. What other evidence is there that binds these two shows together? Or go ahead and poke holes in this crazy theory, because I'm sure there are plenty of holes to poke away at. Or better yet, what are your Dragon Prince theories, no matter how factual or crazy they may be? I really love hearing all of your comments. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share it, and consider subscribing. It really helps out. And sincerely, thank you for watching. I'm out.